My name is Titus Walker. I'm 27 and I'm what some would call very successful. Now, I am not where I want to be or not at my end goal yet, but I am making strides to actually show what I'm doing when I'm doing it, the moves that I'm making to become successful. And whether I win or lose, I'm not sure yet because it's in the future, but I am going to show the clarity on my success, so you know exactly where I'm at as I move forward. When I'm going for a deal, I'll be letting you guys know. I'm in real estate. I have a couple different businesses that I own that are all pretty successful right now. I'm in a clothing line business. I also have of course the videography or YouTube photography business. I have stocks in the stock market, trading options and stocks, as well as I'm in sales, and I have a couple books that I'm working on right now. My first book is actually set to be released. It's being edited right now and then being sent off to the publisher, so I will release more information on that on my channel, so you'll be able to see that firsthand, how that goes, how successful it is. But in order to move forward, and you know, you got to start somewhere, and this is where I'm starting. Pretty successful as is. I have a really nice house, 7 bedrooms. It's pretty big, drive a really nice car, a couple of them. So if you go to my page, you'll see a little bit more about me and my success so far. But I want to take you guys through the story of how, not necessarily how I got there right now, but I want to talk about some of the rules to success. And I have, most of these are kind of going to get more explained in my, my book. The book is called Who Do You Work For? How to Mind Your Own Business and Become a Success Story. I'm really excited for it. So it's again being edited now, but we're going to go jump right into it. Now before we do, I do want to make sure that I get a little bit more comfortable. This is one of the rules to success, but for now I'm going to go ahead and make a change. Alright, so rule number 1 is remember who you work for. Now this is vital because most people don't realize that in America you are a business as soon as you become an American. You are given, and if you don't believe me, of course you can do the research, but you're given what's called a strawman. And basically a strawman is a business entity, or your name, what you go by. So your name is your business entity, and if you think that way, if you act like a business, then a successful business, then you actually will become a successful business. That's the beauty of America. Those that act like a business normally become a successful business. And so I'm going to go again through these tips or these laws to knowing who you work for, and give a little bit about, you know, the book and what it's going to be about. I'll go in more detail at that time. So first rule to knowing who you work for is to think and then act. This is vital to everyone who is successful, and anybody who is a success story will tell you, you have to think and then you have to immediately act. You have to act as quick as you can in whatever you're thinking of doing. Example, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, you need to find a game plan or a strategy and immediately act on it as quick as you can. It is scary that you may fail, yes, but if you do not act, you will find ways to talk yourself out of whatever it is you're looking to do. And others will talk you out of it too. The more time you take, the more people you talk to before you actually act on what it is that you are thinking about, the easier it will be to be talked out of it, because you're going to get a lot of people that are negative, and negativity is extremely hard to ignore. So as soon as you think about it, you need to act on it to become successful. And rule number 2 is you are what they see. Now that is you know, people say like perception is reality, and that is a true statement, but I like to think of it more as you are whoever you say you are, whoever you show them you are. If you're going into any business, and again you got to think of yourself as a business, if you're going into a business and the business on the outside it says that it's tacos, for example, and then when you walk inside they sell nothing but burgers, you probably wouldn't purchase from that business. You would be extremely confused about that business. On the same, if your exterior shows the world one thing, you cannot be anything but that one thing that you're showing the world. And it'll take a long time to convince the world that you're anything except what you've shown them. If you went to a doctor and the doctor walked in baggy jeans, ripped jeans, and a ripped up T-shirt, just Yeezy seasoned out, would you trust that doctor to operate on you, or would you ask a couple questions? Would you want to see some certificates? And if he came in a lab coat, would you ask any questions? Would you want to see his degree? Would you want anything from him, or would you just trust it because he is who he says he is based on how he looks? And you got to operate that way. I call it minding your own business. You have to mind your business instead of everyone else's. If you are paying attention or tending your own business, if you will, then normally your business will go further. Whereas if you're minding everyone else's, if you're only going out and purchasing things from everybody else's business, then you're just going to fund their dreams for the rest of your life, which you may be okay with, but I doubt it if you're watching this video, if you're still watching this video. All right, the third thing in minding your own business or knowing who you work for is it's not about knowing everything, it's about recognizing everything you need to know. And that is so important, especially in regular business, in your 9-to-5 job. You don't need to know everything there is to know, but you do need to know what it is that you need to know. So many people spend so much time gathering information on stuff that's not relevant. It's not important, especially in my field, or one of the fields that I'm in, which is sales. People spend so much time learning, everything there is to know about the product. When the customer comes in, most of them have already done their research. With the internet nowadays, you can find everything there is to know about a product prior to walking in. So you already know about that product. If the only thing that you as a salesperson knows is the product, you don't know people, then you're going to fail. You're not going to sell it because they already know the product. They don't need you to tell them. And if they do need you to tell them, then it's not going to be heavily detailed. And if you don't know, it will not keep them from buying from you. Not if you know people. And I'll elaborate, again, on my page, I'll elaborate a lot more on that and how to know people. But for now, we're just going through the rules. So follow me. So rule number 4 is people first, money second. You have to remember to keep the people first and the money second. So when you're focusing on people, you tend to gain people's trust a lot easier, as opposed to when you're focusing on the money, you're focused on the transaction, the sale, the whatever it is that you're focused on. If it's not the person, then you're going to fail, because what people fail to realize is you can't get money from nowhere. Money has to come from someone or something. Even in the stock market, for example, if I'm trading stocks, I can't get money unless someone else gives it to me. That's the way the stock market works. I buy from someone at a lower price, and then I sell to someone else at a higher price. No matter what, this is true. You have to realize that the people come first, and then the money comes second. If you can learn the people, then the money will come. So you start with the people, then you learn, then the money will come, and you don't even have to worry about it. There's 7 billion people in the world. If you could figure out a way to get $1 from each person, $1 from each person, you would be wealthy beyond your dreams. And it's that simple. If you can figure out people, the money will come. Rule number 5, they don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. Now, that is extremely important, and it ties from the last rule in people first. you want to let people know how much you care about people in order to get those same people to give you your money. So in product knowledge, if you know things, you know a lot of stuff, that's the one thing that kind of gets me about school, college nowadays. It's all about knowing stuff, and they never really teach you people unless you're in psychology. But you have to learn that that again, people come first, but also that people don't care whether you know everything in the world. You have to be able to show them how much you care about people before they will to give you their money, give you anything, give you their time, give you their attention. You have to really show that. So interaction is key. Take Einstein, for example. He was a genius, but in his time he was known as a crazy person, and that's how most geniuses are treated. They're known as the crazy people, and a lot of times that is because they never learn people. They learn things, and they're really good at things, but they don't learn people. And because they don't learn people, they never get to a point where people trust them and are willing to give them things, give them their time, their attention. And so instead, they're just looked at as crazy. They're not given the time of day. All right, the next rule is going to hurt a little bit. This rule is number 6, and it is hard work is important, but it is not everything. Everybody loves to talk about hard work because it's important, but it's not vital to success. You do not have to work hard in order to become successful. There are a lot of people that can learn the game, learn the strategies without working extremely hard, and then still become successful. On the flip side, there are a lot of people, and you can probably name 10 easily, that work extremely hard but never see success. And it's sad, but it's true. There are many people in the world that work really, really hard and will never see success because they don't learn the rest of it. So even though hard work is important, it is not vital to success. There are a lot of other components that are more important than working hard. Rule number 7, teamwork is key. Now, you got to have a good team around you. It is very important that you have people that motivate you, that push you to succeed, and that have certain aspects about them that can add to what it is that you're trying to do, what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So you want to find people and bring them around you that are going to push you to do better and have other things that they can add to whatever it is that you're already good at. Now, this, there's a lot of, the culture nowadays that says that new friends are a bad thing, or no new friends, stranger danger, all that stuff like that. And I just don't agree with any of that. I think that meeting new people or finding new people that have certain components that can add to your puzzle of success is very important and key, and a key to becoming a successful person. Okay, rule number 8 is fix your credit. Now, credit isn't everything, but it is important. And I have videos on my channel that will help you with fixing your credit and explain credit to you so that you understand how it works, what makes it tick, how to get your credit up very quickly. I'm going to be putting out even more educational videos on that because I think it's important to educate people on how it works. And it's so easy. I mean, you really wouldn't believe how easy it is to get your credit score at a 600-700 credit score. I mean, it is very easy. So now this one is going to sound crazy because of the last rule. But this rule is, do not be afraid to fail. And what I mean by that is, do not be afraid to mess up your credit. If you've gotten your credit to a point where people are willing to lend you money for lower amounts, for low interest rates, and you know that you can create a business, or you have this idea, some people never move on that because they spend so much time making their credit get to where it is that they're afraid to do anything to mess that credit up. And you got to realize that, and I go into detail on this on my channel, but you got to realize that every 7 years it's almost like a restart on your credit. There's also many ways to restart your credit. And so if failing does not mean the end of the world. It means you get a new chapter and you get to start again. It's a lot like starting at a new school when you were a kid. If you ever moved and had to go to a new school, no matter what happened at your last school, you can now make it new. You can now become a new person, reinvent yourself, and do it all over again. Credit works that same way. And if every 7 years you get a second chance, then by the time, I mean, even if you live to be about 50, you'll give yourself at least 5 chances. So don't be afraid to mess it up. The credit, you know, it's important, but it's not vital. It's not something that you need to freak out about or not do anything because you don't want to mess it up. Mess it up. Who really cares? I mean, the only thing it'll do is make it hard to get more money lended to you. So what does it matter? You know, so don't be afraid to fail. There's a lot more to it, but that again gets explained more in the book. So for now, don't be afraid to fail. Final rule. Well, one of my final rules, that'll be in the book. Anyways, final rule is give more. This is extremely important. I would like you to kind of think for a second. Think about, of the people you know, how many of them are penny pinchers? How many of them are, and these are people that you really know, people that you really know personally, how many of them are penny pinchers? And as you're thinking of those people, how many of them are at a level of success or freedom that you want to be when you grow up? There's probably not many, if any. I don't know of any. You have to be willing to give. You have to be willing to give to the people in need. You have to be willing to spend. My mentor calls it working out of scarcity. And basically what he means by that is you are in such a mind state that everything is scarce. Money is hard to come by. When in reality, if you operate in the opposite way, where money is not hard to come by. Money is a number most times that you don't even see. It's a number in your bank account that can be acquired pretty easily. And somebody always has money. So if you can find ways to get that money, then it can be yours. But either way, if you work out of scarcity, if you are so afraid to spend money, then how can you acquire money at that same rate? Especially in a job like sales. If you're afraid to spend money, how can you convince others to do it? How are you going to be able to convince someone to buy something that you aren't willing to buy yourself? You're afraid to purchase, or you just think is not worth it. You have got to be willing to give, and you've got to be willing to spend. And to lend and to do whatever it is necessary to make it to the top or where you want to be. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. There's a lot more at my channel. And you all have a great day. Thank you for watching. Let's build success together with Titus Walker. I am Titus Walker. Make sure you like and comment, and go ahead and click that subscribe button. Think of this as your 30-day trial period. If after 30 days you don't learn anything new, then go ahead and unsubscribe. But for now, keep watching. We'll be dropping videos. Dropping videos weekly, and you got to learn something new because I'm going to be putting out new material, stuff that you have never heard. So let's go ahead and build success together. Thank you.
That's what you need.